All right, here we go. Right here behind me is the 2026 GMC Sierra EV, but not the Denali. This is the AT4, the off-road variant. Let's go over it. So if you've been familiar with the Sierra EV since its introduction, you probably are aware that they only had the Denali trim. Well, for 2026 comes two more trim levels that I'm excited to see. First and foremost is the Elevation. I'm hoping to get my hands on one so I can do a video on that. But the one we're looking at right here is one of my favorites for sure. This is the AT4, and you know that that means this is the off-road variant of the Sierra EV. And right down from the looks, you can tell right off the bat. So this is different from the other models where this is usually all paint match. You're gonna see we have black out here, right? I love the lit up GMC logo there. We have the red tow hooks down here, obviously, of course. There is 2 inches more ground clearance on this as well. And part of that, of course, is thanks to these right here. These are 35-inch Goodyear Wrangler, I believe they're Territory MT tires that are on the side, or that are propelling this vehicle here now. As far as range, as far as power, we're going to get into that. But first and foremost, like I said, I just kind of wanted to show you the exterior looks of this so far. Apologize, it's a bit of a rainy day, but that's why we're getting the mud on this. But there you can see the AT4 badging here. There is AT4 badging along the side, but again, unfortunately, it has got muddy. We did use the truck today, which will be in another video, by the way, coming up soon. In fact, June 10th, we're gonna have a video talking about how it rides, you know, in terms of on-road and off-road. But today I can talk about just the vehicle itself and some of the features. Now, one of the things that the AT4 comes with as well that is different from the other trim levels, does now have terrain mode available. And let's talk about terrain mode here a little bit. Step in the vehicle quickly so I can show you. Here's your drive modes. You have my mode, of course, where you can control what mode you want, what mode you like. You have normal mode, off-road, tow haul, and there is terrain. If we switch to terrain mode, you can see the traction control will be turned off. This is obviously it's quite an off-road mode. Basically what GMC is saying is it's designed to provide maximum maneuverability, torque, and precise control off-road, and integrated with one pedal drive and automatic braking. So the terrain mode combines GM's legendary off-road truck know-how with the latest software advancements to deliver cutting-edge capability. Now we'll get back inside in a minute, but there is a few more things I want to talk about while we are still outside. As you can see, I don't know if you can see that. You see that wheel steers there? It does have the 4-wheel steer, and it comes standard with the crab walk as well. Those are 2 features that the AT4 comes standard with. Of course, you're going to have the multi-pro tailgate here, as you see, and then it does still have, coming standard, the mid-gate that we're used to seeing in the Silverado EV and the Sierra EV, which drops down to give you up to, I think it's just over 8 feet or in around 8 feet of actual you know, storage capability in the back when that is down. The window comes out there as well. Now another cool thing here that I like, if we can lift it, oh, if I do the right one here, how about I do that? If we lift this down, we're gonna see the power outlets back here, which allow you to charge things right off the truck. You can essentially power a house off of this if you want to. That is not new, of course, to the AT4, but again, that's just one of the cool perks of having a Sierra EV. And yes, this is a truck, so there is the ability, of course, to put a hitch in there up to 12,300 pounds of max towing with this AT4. I mean, come on, that is a lot of towing. And if we want to talk about towing and not towing, how about, what is the actual range on this? Well, we're almost 800 kilometers of range for you Canadians, and my American friends, we're at almost 500 miles. I think it's like 469 in around that range of miles of range. That is quite the distance. Now, of course, that is without pulling. But just like your gas truck, if you add pulling, well, then your fuel efficiency goes down, right? So those are 2 crazy things, especially from a vehicle that is high horsepower and high torque like this one is as well. Oh, and by the way, that power, 725 horsepower and 775 pound-feet of torque behind this. Not to mention, this is about a 9,000 pound vehicle, and it goes 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds with the max power mode. But let's go inside. I want to show you some things in there as well. Yes, it's a bit muddy, sorry, but here is the new interior found inside the AT4. It looks black, but it's actually like kind of a little bit of a shade of a green gray. So kind of hard to tell, unfortunately, out here. It's a nice day, but it's kind of an overcast day. But anyways, so it has a little bit of character, something a little bit different there. Of course, we have the Bose audio system in this as well. Let's just get in here though, so we can not have it beeping at us. It has a little bit different here texture, like kind of like perforated look, which I kind of like. Looks kind of cool. The massive 16.8 color touchscreen in this. There is your max power mode, by the way, which is really cool. I think I can, maybe you can hear it if I do this. That's where you're going to get the acceleration to 4.5 seconds. Let's just turn that back off. We don't need that on right now. But anyways, you know, a lot of different drive modes, as you've already seen. You have your rear wheel steering here. You have your crab walk right there, just like you see in the Hummer EV and so on. Again, that's a standard feature. We have park assist in this truck. A number of different features. Of course, this one is being a big one. We have the Super Cruise semi-autonomous driving. Hundreds of thousands of miles or kilometers, however you want to look at it, in US and Canada. This will now be on, of course, it's always been on divided highway, but it's now also available to be used on the undivided highways. So the 2-lane highways you can use the Super Cruise on, which is actually obviously phenomenal as well. There's your Super Cruise button right there, obviously. And you still have some manual buttons down here, which is kind of cool to see, obviously, as well. But the majority of everything here is controlled through the touchscreen. You can see here. One of my favorites, though, I'm going to turn that down so I don't get any copyrights here. One of my favorites, though, is I love, if I can find it here, I love the navigation. It's such a large navigation screen. So one of the things I really like using. And then on top of that, of course, the really other thing I like about it is when you're using your camera views, you can have multiple camera views, pardon me, up there at one time, showing you different parts of the truck, especially when if you're doing any kind of off-roading, which of course the AT4 is going to be doing. Also, this has the ability for fast charging, which allows for 100 miles of range in approximately 10 minutes. And I really like this because, you know, it's obviously gives you tons of information in terms of, you know, where your battery life is at, you know, where places close. I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere here, as you can obviously see, but oh, and here's one driving by right now. You know, where you are in terms of the ability to, you know, charge your vehicle, pardon me, where there's available sites. But again, I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere right now. But yeah, the screen is got tons of information. You have your heated seats, you have your cooled seats, heated steering wheel, of course. Just so many features in the inside. And then, of course, my favorite, the massive glass roof that spans the entire length of the vehicle inside. So there it is, the amazing 2026 GMC Sierra EV AT4. Would you be going for this one, or do you think you'd go with the Denali, or maybe the lower priced, little less featured Elevation? Let me know.